Hello students, welcome to Ekcel Academy's YouTube channel, and today we'll be looking at part 2 of the revision class for logical reasoning of CSEET program. In yesterday's video we discussed few questions, and this is nothing but the continuation of that video. Now let us look at the first question here. A man said to a lady, "Your son is the nephew of my only brother." So let's call this person man and woman, and he's telling her that her son is the only nephew, or rather the nephew of his only brother. So let's say this brother is Y and this man is X. X has only one brother, that is Y, and Y has a nephew who is this woman's son. Now it's very easy to identify the relationship between this man and woman, because if this man X has only one brother, this brother cannot have a nephew from someone else. It has to be this person, that is X's son, because he doesn't have any other sibling. So he has to have a brother whose son would be his nephew, and that brother happens to be X, and this woman happens to be X's wife. So therefore, what is a lady to the man? The answer in this case would be option C, that is wife. Moving on. This is the question from coding. If in a certain language Sanjay is coded as Sanjay is coded as TBOKBZ. This is very easy. The moment you see the code, you immediately realize that this is nothing but the next letter. After S comes T, after A comes P, so on and so forth. So now what is that we need to code? We need to code ROGER. So PQRS PH. So we don't even have to look at other options. We have to only look at the first option, and we can easily click on that answer itself, because the first three letters SPH is not there in any of the other options. So therefore immediately you zero in on option A. Moving on. This is the series. Okay, we can easily see the missing letters here. CD is not here. GH is not there between EF and IJ. KL is also not there. OP will not be there. Next would be QR. That's it. For example, every third and the fourth letters are skipped. So that means C and D, that is the third and fourth letter, would be skipped. Then again we start the counter from 1 to EF. Third and fourth would be GH. Like that it goes on. And the last letter which is there in the question is MN. So the next third and fourth digits, or rather the alphabets, would be O and P. So if you skip that, the next two alphabets would be Q and R, which is option D. So therefore D is in fact the right answer. In a code language, A is written as B. Okay, A becomes B, and B becomes C, and C becomes D, so on and so forth. Then how will cup be written in that code? Okay, the thing which we need to identify is CUP. For that, what would be the code? So it's very simple. The subsequent letters. C becomes D, U becomes V, P becomes Q. So the answer in this case would be DVQ, the subsequent letters of the given word. In a certain code, back is written as 21311. BACK, they say, is written as 21311. You can immediately notice that it is nothing but the order in the alphabets. So the first letter is A, second would be B, third would be C, and 11th would be K. That's it. So once you code this, or rather decode this, the next part of the question would be very easy. So how would top be written? So that again we'll have to check which or rather the order of letter T. If you look at the options, everything starts with 20. So obviously you can make out that T would be the 20th letter in the alphabet. Now in this case, the next letter is O. We'll have to count, or rather check the order in which O appears. So if I have to write down the alphabets, let's say A, B, C, D, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15th letter would be letter O. So now 20 corresponds to T, 15 corresponds to O. So you don't even have to look at the next option, because if you look at the options there, 2015 is the answer in only one of the option, that is option D. If other options also had 2015, then you could look at the next letter, but in this case the next letter is P itself, so it would be nothing but 16. So the right answer would be 20 corresponding to T, O is nothing but 15, and P is 16. So 201516 would be the decoded form, or rather the code form of top. So option D is in fact the right answer. Next, once again we have coding decoding. In this case, it's the whole word itself. Keyboard is called sun. Okay. Water is called air. Fine. And cup is called pencil. Then cloud is called sky. Then sea is called mercury. Then what else do we have? Okay. Where does the fish swim? That's very simple. The fish can only swim in water. In this case, water is referred to as air or coded as air. So straight away, we can select option D, which is air. In fact, the best way to avoid wastage of time in these type of questions would be to read the question completely, which I did not do in fact here. So if I have to read the question from the start to finish, it would be like this. If keyboard is called sun, water is called so-and-so, 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 where does the fish swim? So immediately we know fish can only swim in water, and only check the coded word for water, which would be available in the first 4 or 5 words itself, which is nothing but air. So therefore, we can easily select option D straight away. Let's read the next question. They say A and B are the young ones of C. Okay, so A and B are siblings, obviously. Then they say C is the father of A. So C, we know, is the father of these two children, and C's son is A. And they also say, but B is not the son of C. If B is not the son of C, and if C is still the father, then obviously the answer has to be daughter. So there is nothing much happening here. Simply select daughter as the option, or rather look at the question. How are B and C related? Obviously daughter and father. So option A can be easily selected. Let's move on. Okay, we have a question related to clocks. They say a correct clock shows 9 o'clock in the morning. Okay, if this is 12, 6, 9 and 3, and let's say this is the time which is shown by the clock, through how many degrees will the hour hand rotate when the clock shows 3 o'clock in the afternoon? So now what would be the time later on? It would be 3 o'clock. That means this has to move from there to 3. That means it's nothing but movement of 180 degrees. Now, how do we know it's 180? Of course, you can, if you look at the diagram only, you can make out. Or if you do not want to trust, then what you can do is you can check the number of hours between 9 and 3. It is nothing but 6 hours. So the clock, or rather the hour hand, which is in 9, has to move 6 hours. That it has to go to 10, 11, 12, 1 and 2, and only then it will move to third hour, rather the 3 o'clock time. So that means it has traveled 6 hours, and every hour is nothing but 30 degrees. So 6 multiplied by 30 would be 180 degree. So these type of questions you can easily answer just by imagining a clock hour hand moving from 9 to 6. You don't even have to do this calculation. Anyway, that's about this. So 180 is in fact the right answer. Next, choose the word which is not similar to the other words in the group. Okay, we have a dashboard. Immediately we can think of a car. Then we have a dog. Then we have a fender. And then we have a bonnet. See, we know bonnet, fender, dashboard, these are all the parts of a car except for dog. Dog is obviously not part of a car. So therefore we can simply ignore this, or rather pick this as answer, because this is the odd man out. Next. An accurate clock shows 10 o'clock in the morning. Once again, a clock question. An accurate clock shows 10 o'clock in the morning. If this is 12, this would be 10 o'clock. Let's say this is 10. Now, through how many degrees will the hour hand rotate when the clock shows 6 o'clock in the evening? Okay, this would be 6 o'clock. Now, the hour hand has to rotate 2 hours from 10 to 12, then 6 hours from 12 to 6. That means 2 plus 6, which would be 8 hours. To travel 8 hours, how many degrees of rotation does it require? 8 multiplied by 30, because we know every hour requires 30 degrees of rotation. So that would be 240 degrees of rotation. So therefore option D is the right answer in this case. So let us look at this strange question. RAP MAP HOT FUN. The only thing which seems to be common among these words would be that those are all 3-letter words. Apart from that, what else is common? One thing which we can notice, in the middle of each word we have a vowel. So the vowels being A, E, I, O, U, we have A, O and U. So now what we have to do to complete the series would be to look at the options and select that word which has a vowel in the middle. So now if you look at the options, we have CAT, HNE, STN and PGI. In none of the options other than option A, we have a vowel in the middle. So the option which has vowel in the middle is option A, that is CAT, CAT. So therefore option A is the right answer. So in this case, we will have to complete the incomplete series. We have numbers and 26, there is a question mark, 52 and 65. This is easily solved because we know that these are nothing but the multiples of 13 digit. 13 multiplied by 2 would result in 26, 13 multiplied by 4 would result in 52, and 13 times, or rather 5 times 13 would be 65. So what is missing is 3 times 13, which would result in 39. So therefore the answer is option D, which says 39. So that was easy. Let's move on to the next one. We have a statement based on syllogism wherein they say all the harmoniums are instruments. All harmoniums, okay, let's not write that down. Let's call this harmoniums, this circle. Whatever is harmonium is instrument, they say. So that would be a bigger circle. So let's call this instruments. All the instruments are flutes. So that means it is part of a much bigger circle called flutes. In syllogism, the statements which are given in the question might not have anything to do with reality. So we need not worry much about that. We'll only stick to the world which is made up in this particular question. Now we have a diagram which depicts the two statements. All harmoniums are instruments. All instruments are flutes. Now we'll have to check the conclusion based on the diagram. So the conclusion 1 says all the flutes are instruments. Obviously not the case, because all the instruments are flutes, but all the flutes are not instruments. So therefore option 1 or conclusion 1 is definitely not being followed in this diagram. Second conclusion says all the harmoniums are flutes, which is definitely correct, because if all the harmoniums are part of instrument which is part of flutes, harmonium will indirectly also be a flute. So therefore the second conclusion is definitely being followed here. So now if you look at the options, we have only conclusion 1 follows, which is wrong. Neither 1 or 2 follows, which is also wrong. Either 1 or 2 follows, definitely not the case. And the last one being only conclusion 2 follows, which is in fact the case. So therefore option D is the right answer here. Arrange the words given below in a meaningful sequence. I think we have already done this question, but let me just briefly do that again. First would be root. Without root there is nothing. Then after root we have the stem, then a leaf, then we will have the fruit, we will have the flower, and finally we will have the fruit. So this would be the order. So root is number 4, then we have stem, which is number 3, then we have leaf, which is 1, and flower, which is 5, and finally fruit. So 4, 3, 1, 5, 2, option A would be the right answer. Now we have police, punishment, crime, judge and judgment. Okay, without crime there won't be police. So first comes crime. So crime would be the first thing. After that, police will come into picture. Then there will be a judge who will give the judgment, and finally we will have punishment, which is 2. So this is the order which needs to be followed to create a meaningful sequence: crime, police, judge, judgment, and finally punishment. So 3, 1, 4, 5, 2. So which is there in option D. So therefore D is the right answer. Next, arrange the words given below in a meaningful sequence. Once again, similar option or other question. We have cut, put on, mark, measure, tailor. Okay, this is all about tailoring. So what do we do first? First of all, we'll have to measure. Without measuring, nothing can be done. So let's first measure. After measuring, we'll have to mark it. So let's mark. And then we will have to cut it. Okay. Then we'll have to tailor it. So tailor whatever you have cut. And finally, you put on the dress. That's it. So now measure is 4, mark is 3, then cut is 1, tailor is 5, and put on is 2. 4, 3, 1, 5, 2 is the answer. Here what I'm doing is just to make sure that you understand the sequence. I'm explaining everything. In the exam, the moment you identify that measure comes first, you can directly tick or click option D as the right answer, because none of the other options have 4 as the first sequence. So therefore, don't even look at other words. Simply click on option D. So that way you will save time. Okay, let's read the next one. A man said to a lady, a man tells a woman, what does he say? The son of your only brother. She has a brother apparently, and that brother has a son. The son of your only brother is the brother of my wife. Okay, this man has a wife, and that wife's brother is this son. That means this man's wife and this person's son are siblings. If they are siblings, then their father is this person. If this woman's father is this person is father-in-law to this man. And this father-in-law has a sister who is this lady in question. So basically it is nothing but sister of father-in-law. That is whom he is speaking to. Who? The man. What is the lady to the man? The lady to the man is none other than sister of his father-in-law. So that was easily done, I believe. Anyway, let's move on. In a certain language, SACHIN, Sachin, is quoted as RZBGHM. Okay, the previous letters basically. First comes R, then comes S, first comes Z, then comes A, so on and so forth. How is Roger coded in that language? GER. So before R, we have Q. Before O, we have N. Before G, we have F. Before E, we have D. Before R, we have Q once again. So this would be the answer. So now do we have such an option? Yeah, QNFDQ is option D. So therefore select that as the right answer. Next, we have to complete the series, or what is this now? Okay, it's moving in reverse order. That means ST is missing, MNOP, OP is missing, KL is missing here. So then what else is there? GH would be missing. So therefore after IJ we will have EF as the answer. So this was interesting, slightly confusing when you look at it first, but then can be understood easily once you look at it carefully. So EF is in fact the right answer. What we are doing is we are moving in reverse, skipping every third and fourth letter. We have solved similar question earlier as well. The only difference here is it is moving from the end towards the start. That is from Z to A, not from A to Z. That's the thing. Anyway, let's move on. In a code language, A is written as B, B is written as C, okay, so on and so forth. So how will Jack be written? J, K, A, B, C, D, K, L. That's it. Subsequent letters basically. So K, B, D, L is the right answer. Do we have that option? Obviously option A. The moment you zero in on K as the right letter, or rather substitute for J, simply click on option A. You don't even have to look at other options because none of the other options starts with K. So therefore save your time. Don't decode for the rest of the letters. Simply select option A as the answer. Next, in a certain code, TOPPER, topper, is written as 613382 and last is written as 7496. Now here what we notice is each letter is given a unique digit. That is the thing. There is no rule as such which is being followed. For instance, T becomes 6, O becomes 1, P becomes 3, E becomes 8, R 2, etc. Now with this we'll have to identify the code for laptop. LAPTOP. So we have TOP already. So last three words or rather digits will be 613. LA will be 74. P would be 3 once again. 743613. So option B is in fact the right answer here. Let me read the question fully. If keyboard is called sky, water is called sun, air is called pencil, cloud is called sky, sky is called earth, sea is called mercury, where do aeroplanes fly? This is interesting. So aeroplanes fly on sky. That much we know already. We'll have to look for the word which is a substitute for sky. What do they say? They say sky is called earth. That's it. So aeroplanes, they fly on earth according to this question. That's it. So now in this case they are saying if 1st of Jan is a Sunday, on which year? 2012. What would be 15th of August? Since independence is on 15th of August, which day would that be? So to identify the answer, we'll have to find out the difference between these two dates. So now in January, we will have 30 days apart from 1st January. So that shall be excluded. Feb will have 29 because 2012 is a leap year, or rather was a leap year. Then March will have 31, April will have 30, May will have 31, June will have 30, July will have 31, and August 15 days. So now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 30 multiplied by 7 will be 210 days. Then 1 from 31 goes here, so 29 also becomes 30. So how many extra days do we have? 1 here and 1 here, then 15. So that means 15 plus 1 plus 1 will be 17. So we have 227 days between those two dates. Now using the concept of odd days, we will find out the day of independence. So now 227 needs to be divided by 7. Obviously it is not a multiple of 7, so let us find out the nearest multiple. So 7 3s are 21, 7 2s are 14. So the nearest multiple of 7, which is close to 227, would be 32. So 32 multiplied by 7 will give us 224. So 224 minus 227, we are left with 3 odd days. Now let's go back to the question. They say 1st of January was Sunday. Now to that Sunday add 3 more days, you will get the day of 15th of August. So Sunday plus 3 days would be Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday. So the answer in this case would be option C, Wednesday. Anyway, let's proceed to the next one. If A, B, C, D is coded as F, G, H, I. Now how have they coded this? So A, B, C, D, E, F. So that means plus 5, plus 5, plus 5, plus 5 everywhere. How will D, E, F, G be coded? So again you'll have to add 5 letters to that. After D we have E, F, G, H, I. So I, then after E, F, G, H, I, J. So now I will stop here because I don't even have to look at the other 2 letters, because the first 2 letters according to the decoded answer would be IJ. So IJ are the first two letters of the answer. Now in which of the options do we have ij? In option A, so simply click that option, don't even look at the other options. Okay, the last one, choose the odd one. So it's a very simple one. In this we have a family of animals. So we have cat, a dog, a leopard, and a tiger. We know for a fact that cat, leopard, and tiger, they all belong to the same family of animals. The only thing which is odd here would be the animal dog. So therefore option B would be the right answer. So that ends the revision class by Ekcel Academy for logical reasoning for this November exam. I hope this was useful. If you found this video useful and the other revision classes by Ekcel useful, please do like this video and also subscribe to our channel for updates on CS coaching or CS course as such. And if at all you have any doubts with respect to whatever we discussed in these videos, please do leave a comment below. I will try to get back to you. Thank you.